Hey everybody, Brandy here doing my comments for my Stampin' Studio today. It's been a long time since I've done a video and I'll be honest with you, I have just been swamped. Between my wife's 50th birthday, which actually took place in February, but we had our big celebration shindig Memorial Day weekend, and getting ready for the new catalog launch, which happened the first week in June, and then preparing all of my, I still have some retired product left. I just have been completely busy and I have not had time to do anything. And I'm not going to show you, but my craft space is a mess. And I keep coming in here thinking I'm going to clean it up, and I never do. And I said, well, I can't really do a video because my place is a mess. And so what I've just done is just pushed everything to the side. So today, I thought, I'm just sort of doing this on the fly. Today, I wanted to show you a new technique. This is a card that I did for the demonstrator swap that I host, and it features the Brusho crystal pigments and a new stamp set called Enjoy Life. And so what I thought I'd do today is just basically show you how I created that kind of sunset look. I really like this card. It also features clear embossing, which you probably can't see because I've got it in this, well, let me see if I can take it out. I don't know if you can kind of see that it's a little bit shiny and it's a little bit embossed, and so it just kind of gives that finished look. So I've done it a couple of different ways, and I'm going to try it a different way today, so hopefully it comes out. All right, let's get started. Okay. So, I attempted to do this video with two other cards, and I was not getting a clear image. And what I discovered is that if it's not clear, you know, the lighter parts dry much faster than the darker parts, and when I was putting embossing powder on it, it wasn't setting. So when you go to put water on it, it's going to bleed. And so I'm like, what is going on? So I went ahead and re-inked my black archival pad, thinking maybe that would fix it, and it appears to be so. So we're going to go with this, but before I get into all that, I kind of want to redo what I just did in terms of telling you what supplies you need. And I've got everything spread out now. I had it all organized before, but you know, that's how life goes. So you're going to need your Brusho crystals. You're going to need your clear embossing powder. I do have another video showing you how I store my embossing powder. If you're interested in that, I'll put a link down below. You're going to need an aqua pen, or aqua painter, I should say. Also, I use the Stampin' Spritzer. I'm going to be using glue dot, and of course we have our archival black. The stamp set that we're going to be working with today is Enjoy Life. All right, so let me see. Third time is the charm. So basically what I'm doing is I'm going to emboss the images first, and you know, archival ink dries pretty quickly. And so I want to make sure that I've got my embossing powder ready, because once I stamp that image, I'm going to want to put the embossing powder on it as quickly as possible, because I don't want the ink to dry and then nothing is available for the embossing powder to adhere to, because again, if that ink is not embossed up, it's going to run when I get it wet. So that's really important to remember. All right, so I've already done the grass, and just a little tip, when you're putting the grass down, I always like to kind of stamp off, because I don't want that line showing up at the bottom of the card. And so you can just kind of, you know, you can vary it. That's how it is in nature. I'm just going to clean that space off right there. I hate gritty powder. Okay, All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the other stamps. I'm going to do I guess these would be called wildflowers. So I'll go ahead and do that now. And now with my freshly re-inked pad, hopefully this will come out much better than it did in the previous 2 videos. Okay, all right, let's see how this goes. Yeah, that looks much better. So when in doubt, if your images are not stamping clear, check to see if the pad needs to be re-inked. And you can use a paintbrush to kind of get the excess powder off. Now I'm going to set my powder to the side because I don't want to accidentally set the powder that's in my container. And if you get a heat source to it, it will. And then of course, then you can't use it. All right, so here I go. All right, now I'm going to do the little guy, or the little girl. And I want her feet to be in the grass. I don't want her jumping up in the air. Now we got one last stamped image, and this is usually where I mess up, so hopefully we won't have that issue on this video. Again, I hate pretty powder on my workspace. Okay, all right, let's try this. Let's see if we can get this to work. I'm gonna go ahead and ink up my stamp. Now with the archival black and the archival white, the pad is a bit different than the juicy pads, and so with this I kind of give a little twist to make sure that I have enough ink on there. On my other pads I would just, you know, sort of tap, but on these guys, and you'll be able to tell, it's a little bit stiffer. I guess that's a linen pad, and so you just kind of want to twist it a little bit, make sure you've got enough ink on there. All right, so let's give this a go. Cross your fingers. Much better. Okay. There we go. Oh yes, so excited for that. Okay, put these guys off to the side. right, now I'll give you a little tip that actually one of my customers showed me. When you heat emboss this, you notice that the paper starts to curl. When she's done with that, she'll put a little heat on the back side to kind of make it go back the other way. And that kind of just sort of flattens it out a bit. When I put water on it, it's going to curl up again, but I thought I'd just show that little tip for you. Okay, we can put this away. We can put our embossing powder that we had in the coffee filter back in here, and it looks like I'm almost out of clear embossing powder, so probably need to put that on the list to buy on my next order. All right, and again, I've got a video on how I store this and where I got these containers and stuff, so if you're interested in that, check out the link below. All right, use my little embossing cleaner here, get all this gritty stuff off. I'm done with this. Okay, now we need to get a paper plate, and I will tell you that the last time I did this, or when I was first trying it, I need this paper to kind of stay in one place, and so I put washi tape down. What I found, of course, is that when I took the washi tape off, there was a hard line. I don't want a hard line, so instead I'm going to put a piece of, I'm just going to put a glue dot down, and that way when I pull it up, it's not going to tear the paper, but it's still enough to keep that paper relatively in place. All right, so we're going to get down to the Brusho technique part of my card. We're going to use all of the colors except for green. I guess when you see green in the sky, then that's not a good thing. All right, so a couple of different ways you can do this. So I've seen folks who will put the crystals down first and then they spray it, which is the way I did it on this card. But I want to try something different. I actually want to put the water down first, then try to control where those crystals go and blend in. So we're going to try that technique on camera. Of course, you know, I should probably practice this before I show you guys, but hey, let's try it. All right, so I'm going to put a little water down. Oh, yes, I'm going to put water down first. I'm going to do the yellow. And let's see here. All right, it's kind of, and you don't need a lot. Just going to kind of move this around. Oh, that looks really pretty. And if I want more, if I want that to be a little bit darker, I can just put a little bit more. Hopefully you guys can see that. Yes. Nice, 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 nice. Love it. Okay, and I think it should be a little bit darker at the top than it is in the bottom. So I'm going to kind of go a little crazy here and see how this works. Love it. I like how that came out. I got my little paper towel here to clean off my aqua painter. All right, now I want to do the next color, which is going to be, what color? Orange. All right, where's my Stampin' Spritzer? Oops, might help if I have it pointed in the right direction. Looking yellow, so I might need to put some more down. looks nice. Okay, Microptalgo. Okay, all right, put some water down. We're gonna do red this time. Looks like I got a little crazy with the red. Got to be careful with this. Especially if you're trying to kind of separate out those colors. But it's okay. All right, now the last thing I'm going to do is the blue. Now, one thing I will tell you is that the blue is pretty dark, or can be dark, so you want to make sure that you don't put the blue somewhere where you have a dark ink like this. So I want to make sure I don't get blue here, otherwise I'm not going to be able to see my sentiment. So let's water up that top part. And I'm just going to go very light on this blue. Oh, no, 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 get over there. It wants to follow where that water is. Let's see, looks like the water is going down the side, so I'm going to go ahead and lift this up because I don't want that to happen. Oh, let's see here. Let's see if I can dry that off. That glue dot is still there, but I'm just going to set it down. All right, so look at that. That looks great. Let me see if I can blend in a little bit more. I want to blend that space in just a little bit. And I'm going to put just a little bit of red. Instead of using my spritzer, I'm going to use the water that's in my pen to blend that. That looks good. All right, so there you have it. That is your Brusho technique. Now, I need to set this aside and let it dry because I don't want to smear anything. So I'm going to let this dry, and you know, basically when it's dry, I'm going to mount it just like I normally would and put it on this card. What do you think? So you can definitely tell there's differences in the different technique, and you know, it's just whatever you like. And no two cards are going to be the same. So that's one thing to kind of have to accept, especially if you're wanting to re-achieve the exact same effect. You're probably not going to be, but that means that each card is unique. All right, and that water is running, so I'm just going to let it set. All right, I'm going to flip the camera over. All right, well, there you have it. That is my sunset Brusho technique. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was helpful for you. If it is, please do give it a thumbs up, and please comment below that you loved the video and you love the card and you want to make it yourself. All right, now don't forget, I've got comments down below on all the products that I used and a link to my blog where you can get more details, all right? Life happens, I comment. Oh, and don't forget, if you want to get more of these videos, please do subscribe and click the bell. That way you get notification every time I upload a new video. All right, take care. Life happens, I comment. Stamp me some love.